Sure. Good afternoon, South Africa, and a very, very warm welcome to you. This is Afternoon Express, and my name is Jeannie D. Welcome to a brand new week, and welcome to the beginning of the last half of 2019. Can you handle how quickly this year has gone? Now, a new month signifies another chance to start over and renew goals, I suppose, that you had at the beginning of the year. And with all that said, today on the show, we meet Noemi Bhutto, who is the founder of Mommy Mall SA, the first mom business network that empowers mompreneurs across the country. Then we meet Karen Moore, a mompreneur who overcame her alcohol addiction and went on to create Soapify, an exquisite bath and beauty product range. It's so beautiful. And of course, Mommy Mondays, we chat about raising an appreciative child with social worker Shahana Mia. Plus, we chat to the founders of the Free Thinkers, a community project aimed at helping young creatives to find solutions for challenges within their communities. So please do join the conversation online and tell us what you appreciate the most about the people who raised you. I mean, what an incredible job some of our mothers and fathers and the other people who raise us do. So what do you love most about the people who raised you? Please do tweet us at Afternoon Chat using the official hashtag Afternoon Express, or comment on our Facebook page.
Clover Amasi is a thick, creamy muss your family will love. Made with love by Clover.
Okay, go.
Good afternoon, South Africa. My name is Palisa Dembe, and yes, indeed, we are back in the kitchen here on Afternoon Express. Mo, you seem to have a feast waiting for us, given to us by one of our fan favorites, a South African favorite, Clover Amasi.
Clover Amasi. So this is actually an Amasi bubble and squeak, which is a British dish, but we are totally going to Mzansi-fy this
Oh,
dish.
we're Mzansi-fying it. I love that. And if you want to try this at home, SMS the keyword Clover to 33650, and you could be Mzansi-fying this bubble and squeak dish. Oh, it looks good. We've got some spinach, I see here. We've got some mashed potato, obviously some cheese. Oh, and it all comes together so beautifully, right?
And it's a beautiful baked dish in the oven, quick and easy to make. Mondays just got better.
Mondays just got better indeed. Jeannie, I am salivating already. I cannot wait to dive into this recipe. But for now, over to you.
Clover Amasi is a thick, creamy muss your family will love. Made with love by Clover.
According to statistics, 60% of mothers in South Africa are raising their children on their own. Because of these statistics, mompreneur Noemi Bhutto was inspired to create a network for mums to help them create jobs by assisting them in starting their very own businesses. She joins us to tell us about Mommy Mall SA, an online platform that provides virtual training and business workshops for mums. Welcome to Afternoon Express.
Thank you so much.
What a great, great idea. But how did it all come about? How did you realize that there was a need for single moms to make work for themselves?
Well, Jenny, you know, it actually started from a case of cyberbullying on Facebook. So it wasn't really a brainchild that I had based on an idea, you know, let's support moms or let's build a platform. I actually saw how moms were breaking each other down.
Really?
On Facebook. A mom advertised on a very big motherhood forum. She advertised, and some of the other moms said, oh, don't advertise here. This is a forum. We don't sell to each other. We don't buy stuff from each other. This is just mommy chat. And I'm a professional person. I own an advertising agency, so that's been my life. I really, really enjoy the advertising industry. And I thought to myself, you know, this mom's just trying to make ends meet. How is it that moms have become so accustomed to bullying each other online that it's now the norm and we can't support each other? So I just jumped in there and I said, you know what, I'm going to buy from you, and if you want to advertise, I'll create a platform for you to advertise, and let's advertise to each other. I'm a mom, you're a mom. Let's advertise to each other and let's buy from each other and let's support each other.
You'd think that women would naturally support each other in that kind of space. But actually, like, I think motherhood is so competitive. Like, all of my girlfriends that are mothers say, you know, when they take their daughters to ballet or whatever, they said it's the other moms that just make them feel so uncomfortable.
Absolutely.
Instead of being you know, equals and like relying on each other for any kind of support. So anyway, so Mommy Mall SA was founded.
Yeah.
So how does it work?
So basically, you join the mom directory. It's online. It's all seated on the internet. So it's on mommymallsa.co.za. That's the website, and you join the directory. You can be an 18-year-old single mom selling clothing from home. You could be an accountant. You could be an ex-dentist who's now doing beauty from home. It doesn't matter who you are. As long as you're a mom, you're welcome in our community. Okay. And then you get a page, a little web page with a profile like LinkedIn on our website, and you sell your goods from there. It's not an online store, it's an online directory. And we're all moms, and we all buy from each other and all support each other.
Okay, so you've got to explain to me because I'm quite technically challenged. So we click on your website,
Yes.
which is Mommy Mall.
Yes.
And then there, what do you search for whatever kind of thing you want? And it's
Correct.
all just listed.
Yes.
All of the different. So what kind of things can we
Yes.
buy?
So pregnant moms love us because, you know, the baby is on its way, and then you can go to Mommy Mall and you can buy anything from baby clothes to your crib bedding to your furniture, anything like that. But we also support older moms, older children, matric farewell dresses, jewelry, and we have professional
Amazing.
services as well. Basically, anything that you can get at a shopping mall, you can get at Mommy Mall.
And the only difference is this is female exclusively owned businesses
Absolutely.
that are single moms.
When you are buying from Mommy Mall, you are buying from a mother. They're not all single moms.
Yeah.
It's open to all moms.
Sure.
But yes, that statistic, the 60% of moms in South Africa who are single is a real statistic. And
Yeah.
Mommy Mall is
It's
making a
huge.
difference in the lives of those moms.
Yeah. And I suppose it doesn't have to be just a single mom. It can be a mom who has been raising children for a very long time and just wants to get her independence back.
Yeah.
Just wants a little bit of spending money, I suppose, but also having the financial freedom to be able to send your kids to school or buy them an extra treat. So tell me about some of the success stories and about some of the moms that are on your site.
One of our moms is a very good example of someone who's a grandma, and she's made a very great business out of doing bespoke gifts. So she does gift baskets. She's full-time employed, and then she's got a sideline business called Babaluli Gifts. You'll open her page and it says, "We don't do boring." And she always builds into her gifts something that's special and bespoke for the receiver of the gift.
This is amazing.
So, you know, this is something about Mommy Mall as well. A lot of our things are crafted, handmade, made with love,
Beautiful.
made the way mom would make it, wrapped the way mom would wrap it, you know. So there's a lot of love in the businesses itself and how moms then do their business and conduct themselves.
Yeah,
in
this
business.
is so beautiful, and what a great thing to support. So, I mean, what's the criteria for women to join?
So
and like,
firstly-
what's the screening process, I suppose?
Yeah. So you just need to be a mom, and you need to be female, obviously. and then you have to be in either one of two categories, or you have a full-time job, or you might be an entrepreneur. And those with the full-time jobs, those are the mommies wanting to get out of corporate. They want to spend more time with their kids, so they've got a sideline business. So typically starting to sell skincare from home, Tupperware, that kind of thing. And Mommy Mall also takes out the stigma of work from home mom, because you know, if you're a career woman and I'm just a work from home mom, I'm just a mom, there's nothing like that. At Mommy Mall, we are all entrepreneurs, we are all business owners, and we meet each other.
Doesn't matter
in
where
an
my
equal-
office is, if it's in my lounge or if it's on the top of Sandton City, it doesn't make a difference.
Exactly. We meet each other in an equal space where it doesn't matter if you are selling Tupperware, just selling Tupperware from home, or whether you are a former business owner who now runs a business as a mom. We all meet each other in that space, and we support each other, whether you're an 18-year-old single mom, whether you're a 40-year-old married mom, or a grandma who never had that. You know, a lot of the older generation, they never had that extra spending money to spoil themselves. They were just pouring everything into their kids. And this is what Mommy Mall also wants to teach moms, is that you need to look after yourself, fill your own cup, and then once it runs over, that's when you have to give to others.
You know, if I think of mums, whether they're single or not single, or just women with children, I'm pretty sure that their single motive is just how can I be the best that I can be so that I can provide the most for my children. So what a beautiful initiative, great idea. I wish you really the best success.
Thank you so much.
Something really, really awesome to support. Thank you. So we're going to be meeting mompreneur and founder of Soapify, Karen Moore, who shares her story of triumph with us after the break. So please do connect with us online and tell us what you really appreciate the most about the people who raised you. So remember to use the hashtag Afternoon Express in your comments. We really want to hear from you. Welcome back to Afternoon Express. I hope that you're having a really good Monday. So this week we are taking another look at LG's incredible air conditioners. Now, we all struggle to keep warm in winter, gee whiz, especially this past week. Oh, and often methods we use are expensive and they come with their really own set of risks. So using a fireplace makes your house smell like smoke and hell.
Yeah.
Plus, it involves open flames. Gas heaters use high-pressured gas canisters that can be dangerous and need to be replaced.
Absolutely. Now, LG's dual cool and art cool ranges are not only able to warm your home safely, but thanks to their dual inverter technology, they save up to 70% on energy costs. And recent studies reveal that they are able to cool your home warm during the winters for approximately 8 Rand a day.
Brilliant.
So much money saved. So say goodbye to smoky fires and heavy gas canisters.
Now, after losing everything due to her alcohol addiction, Karen Moore overcame her struggles after undergoing various treatments. Now, soon after that, she became a member of Mommy Mall SA and started making soap in her kitchen to supplement her household income. She is now the founder of Soapify, the company that makes luxurious bath and beauty products using quality ingredients. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me.
You know, I'm looking at you now and I see this beautiful, smart, successful, bright-eyed woman, but 4 years ago, the picture of you would have been very different. Tell us a little bit about your journey.
So growing up, I was actually quite a perfectionist. I was quite a control freak. I did very well at school. I was prefect in primary school, prefect in high school, student representative. And then I got to like my mid-20s, and that's when the wheels started falling off.
Really?
And I'm an extremist, so everything I do, I do to the extreme.
So just going through stuff in life and not coping and then having to drink, like booze it off.
Yes, so I was literally drinking from 6 o'clock in the morning.
Really?
While still working, trying to carry on with my life. And it got to a point where I actually just couldn't cope anymore and I was broken.
What does alcoholism look like? Like, how do you pull off, how do you pull off drinking like that and then going to work? How can you be functional through alcoholism?
So I was semi-functional. My family and my partner, they knew there was obviously an issue. But people around me, I'm sure they could smell it, but I could just say it was from the night before. But I used to sort of, what I would say to myself is it's controlled, but I would drink a certain thing at a certain time to try and keep myself sort of okay throughout the day. But the reality is that if you're drinking from 6 o'clock in the morning, no matter how much it is, and if you're drinking because you are no longer able to function without a substance or using, and I used other stuff as well. If you're doing that to function, you're not living a life, and it's out of
You're
control.
escaping. You want to be elsewhere.
Constantly.
So what then happened for you to change? What was the catalyst for you to seek help?
It got to a point I did have a suicide attempt. I got help, and they sort of went, it was my anxiety and my depression, but I wouldn't go to the fact that the reason I had the anxiety and the depression was because I was a chronic alcoholic. That was the cause of it. And it got to a point where I wasn't able to actually sort of control myself anymore. I was falling apart at the seams. I was depressed. I had constant anxiety. I couldn't even hold a pencil or do anything. I was completely dependent. And I needed a way out. I needed to do something. I couldn't carry on living my life like that.
Then towards the end of your treatment, you fell pregnant, and that completely changed your life.
Yes, it did.
What a gift. What a gift.
At the time, I was like, why is this happening to me?
I'm sure.
I can't even look after myself. And it was the exact thing that needed to happen at that exact moment.
Yeah.
Because once I gave birth to my little boy, Eli, something just changed in me. Where I was struggling, even while I was pregnant, I was struggling every single day not to pick up. I did 11 months of treatment in 4 different treatment centers, and I just couldn't get it. I couldn't stay clean. I'd come out after 4 months, 1 week later, pick up and be back in treatment. And the minute I laid eyes on my son, it was like something went off in my head, and I knew that this was no longer an option. Picking up was no longer an option.
And you've just celebrated 4 years clean.
Yes.
So, yeah, he was definitely the gift that kept on giving. So then you obviously needed to supplement your income, and I'm pretty sure your son was a really good reason to start something. So you started Soapify.
Yes.
So how did you start that, and how did you come up with the idea?
So I was working...
Clean soap.
Yeah,
I just
keep
made
it
that
clean.
connection.
I still do it. I work in treatment centers doing art therapy and music therapy, where I speak a lot to other addicts, try and give them hope and inspiration. But it wasn't enough to be able to provide the life that I wanted for my son. My partner said to me, you need to do something to like give us extra spending money, to do holidays, to do different things, to spoil ourselves. And so he said, just think you're creative, do something. So I said, I'm gonna make soap. And they looked at me like, okay, old Karen, she's gonna start this, 5 weeks later it's gonna be done, and she's gonna move on to the next thing. And as soon as they said it to me, I was like, I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do it, and I'm gonna do it properly. And I started in my kitchen, and it just, I am naturally creative, always have been. I'm very into the arts. I teach dancing as well. And it just grew, and I just had more and more ideas, and I just kept on pushing. And that's where Mommy Mall came in.
Tell me about your relationship with Mommy Mall.
So I was selling like little bits here and there, but I wasn't getting the exposure that I needed to actually, let people see my products. It's quite hard actually to get the sort of viewers to see your products and actually see what you're capable of doing. So I started advertising I used to buy from Mommy Mall, so I was a member, and I saw what other moms were doing, and I thought, okay, I'm going to do this. So I started, I signed up to be a part of Mommy Mall, and I started posting my ads 3 times a week.
Yeah.
And then I started seeing results. And then in 2018, I entered the Mommy Mall Awards, and I ended up winning the Newcomer of the Year award, which for me was
Amazing. Congratulations.
Thank you. And it was just the confidence boost I needed. For so many years, not believing in myself, not thinking I was good enough, not thinking my stuff's good enough. Having somebody else or other people tell me that, yes, you are, it gave me that confidence boost that I needed.
Yeah.
And then it just grew even bigger. And I still post every week on Mommy Mall.
Beautiful.
It's a very big part of where I am today.
You know, I always hear these women say how having a child is the most rewarding and the most beautiful thing that can ever happen to them. But I think to be in a situation where you literally are reminded of being conscious to be your best self every single day for someone else is, I mean, wow. Well done.
Thank you very
well
much.
done. And
Thank
well
you.
done on your soap. Is it
Thank
amazing? Does it smell nice and is it great? What makes it so different? I heard you've even got like little soap dough for kids in the bar.
Yes. So like, it's not just a normal bar of soap. There are bars of soap that look like lemon meringue pie, exactly like a piece of lemon meringue pie, and it smells like lemon meringue pie.
Oh, amazing.
I've got a huge kiddies range of Lego men and dinosaurs and unicorns. I've got
Oh, wow.
cupcakes.
We cannot live without Soapify. Go buy some now.
Thank you. Yeah, so it's and I make a custom make. So people call me and they say, I've got a function or a baby shower, and they say, can you do this sort of thing in this color at this price? And I work around it and I custom make things.
Amazing.
As well.
All of the details will be on the Afternoon Express website so that we can all get ourselves some fabulous Soapify soap.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Absolutely beautiful. Now, we've been asking you online, what do you appreciate the most about those who raised you? Now, we've got Bridget here saying, my mom worked 3 jobs to keep my siblings and I happy and healthy. We didn't have much, but Mama kept us going. Shout out to you, Mama. We also have Zanele here saying, my mom taught me to be tough, independent, and to respect. Viva Mbogoto, absolutely. Now we chat to social worker Shahana Mia from the Parent Center about raising an appreciative child after the break. So head over to our social media platforms and tell us what you appreciate the most about the people who raised you. Remember to use the hashtag Afternoon Express in your comments. See you after the break.
What does it mean to be the face of Ponds? A few words come to mind. Empowered. Glamorous. With new opportunities. And if you think you have what it takes, simply enter by purchasing any Ponds product and visiting faceofponds.co.za to upload your photo, your bio, and the last 4 digits of your product's unique barcode. I am the face of Ponds. Are you?
Almost like she's not listening to what you're saying.
Welcome back to Afternoon Express. I hope that you're having a glorious Monday afternoon. So one of the most valuable traits you can teach a child is the quality of being appreciative in all spheres of life. Shahana Mia, a social worker from the Parent Centre, joins us to share some of the things that you can do to teach your little one to be appreciative. Welcome back to the show.
Thank you very much for having me.
Lovely to have you.
Thank you.
So all of my friends have got children, and especially at a certain age group, the only thing I hear the most of is, you know, I try my best for my kid, I try and give them everything, and they're so ungrateful. Why do you think parents feel, or why are children, I suppose, unappreciative nowadays?
I think we first need to understand what's the interpretation of a parent when they say, my child's unappreciative.
Yeah.
Because if we unpack that, what is the need of the parent?
Yes.
Where is the parent's expectation, and why is there disappointment in the behavior? That parent is expecting a certain behavior or a communication style from the child, which the child is obviously not reciprocating.
Yeah.
And appreciation comes with gratitude. And that's an evolving process.
Yeah.
And at a different age of the child's lifespan, they will learn that value differently. So I think before we actually just look at why, we need to understand from the parent itself, what do they mean
So
by that?
how would you counsel that when a parent comes into your office and they say, oh, my kid is so ungrateful, so unappreciative? How would you counsel a parent in that environment?
So at the Parent Centre, we deal with parents, and the parent will come in with this particular challenge that they have.
Yeah.
So we look at where is the unmet need. If the child's not challenged by this, then obviously it's a parent's need.
Yeah.
So the parent has the challenge, and then we help the parent understand that. So what is your expectation? What are you needing? Do you want approval? Do you want recognition? Do you want acknowledgement? Are you doing too much for your child and then expecting the child to be grateful in return? And then that's a disappointment. What is your value? Have you taught your child certain values, and which becomes a belief system in your home, and then you've created a rule around it? And if your child is a young child and hasn't understood that, the child will obviously behave as a child would, and the parent feels, I've done so much for you.
Yeah.
So maybe sometimes the parent would feel as a victim because the child hasn't appreciated. But we need to understand, where is that unmet need first?
I don't believe that you get badly behaved children. I think you get bad parents. And I mean, I've got so many godchildren, and one thing that really bothers me is when, you know, please and thank yous with children. And I sometimes, I will sit and enforce. I won't give something unless I get a please, and I won't, you know, let it go if I don't get a thank you. But should little things like that be enforced from a young age? I mean, how do you teach children the difference between right and wrong if they're not seeing it and if they're not learning? Because I don't think they know any better. So they're not being bad on purpose. They're just learning the world for the first time. So, I mean, where do parents go wrong in that environment?
Parents, I think, need to learn that they have to teach their child certain social skills. It doesn't come naturally. And the first social environment you have is your home. So it is the please, the thank you, sharing, responsibility in terms of taking chores and having to see that the world is not egocentric. It's very much, I am impacting the world and the world's impacting me. So yes, role modeling of certain behavior patterns, understanding that the child speaks through their behavior. And if the parent then labels the child as misbehaving, it becomes a challenge. Rather, understanding that the behavior itself is something that needs to be rectified. So by voicing those things, that can help quite a bit. And helping the child then just understand that, okay, these are our values in our home. This is what we would like to enforce. So I first, as a parent, need to then enforce that and help my child learn and understand that that is the way it needs to go. This is young children. Obviously, older children hopefully would have understood that your values are firmly embedded, and they will hopefully believe that.
It starts at young.
Absolutely.
So if you get it right when they're young, they grow into better people, maybe.
You hope so, yes, and you try.
I read such an interesting article today saying that children who to help with housework and that have got chores end up being more successful adults. And I think maybe that is a better way, I suppose, to discipline, that from young you would show responsibility and accountability so that you don't have to discipline kids when they're older. So how do you enforce that without being strict or without those little things being seen as a laborious task instead of just a responsibility and a duty that is just my role in the family?
So when we run our parenting workshops, positive parenting, the first 5 sessions are spent on your relationship with your child before disciplining.
Yeah.
Because that's important, your foundational relationship. What is the communication style? Are there barriers to that? Is there disconnect? Are you hearing your child? Is your child hearing you? Do you have an open set of communication? Do you understand your child's love language? Do you present to them in a way where they feel heard and understood? Does your child then reciprocate that? And all that works in with appreciation, and then discipline can come, because if the child feels loved and heard, they will hear you and they will know this is a responsibility, this is a chore that needs to be fulfilled, because I'm part of the family circle, and it will be a lot easier for them to participate. But if they're enforced, and they don't feel secure and safe in the home environment, they'll probably have an unconscious goal to get back at you and not do what you've asked them to do.
We hear so much that kids nowadays are entitled or spoiled. Do you think that parents are doing too much for their children? For example, like with children, they're always entertained now from a very young age, instead of just being told to go and play outside and entertain yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. I think there's this egocentric situation, and we need to understand that children need to be children at different ages, and we need to just help them support that way. So yes, I think always giving in to them, protecting them, saving them may not always be the best thing possible for them.
It's hard though, I'm sure.
Very hard, I know. But then we do become the victim. Because we first just taking on this role of protection, and the child becomes comfortable with that, and then we feel victimized, and we feel that they're not appreciating what we're doing for them. But we need to understand that depending on the situation, there needs to be a sense of accomplishment and achievement. So sometimes they need to fall, they need to make mistakes, and learn from those. And it's about that process where they become grateful, and in turn, the happiness comes in rather than...
I'm going to be such a good parent one day just because of the lessons that you teach me. Thank you so much. We're going to chat more in a little while. Over to you, Pali.
Clover Amasi is a thick, creamy muss your family will love. Made with love by Clover.
The rich, creamy, smooth taste of Clover Amasi or Tando makes it perfect for baking and cooking. And today it is the hero ingredient of our British bubble and squeak recipe. Now to try this at home, SMS the keyword Clover to 33650. Remember, SMSs cost R1.50 and free SMSs do not apply. Chef Mo, this sounds delicious, but I've never tried a bubble and squeak recipe.
So the reason for this name is because of the sound that the cabbage makes when it fries in the pan.
Oh.
So remember we said we're going to Mzanzify this dish.
Add a little Mzansi twist to it.
And we're going to do that with our Clover Amasi or Tando, which you told me means love. So it's made with love.
Definitely.
Yeah. Okay, so while you add some of that to your bowl, you've got some boiled mashed potatoes in there. I'm going to go in with a little bit of oil.
Does it matter how much amasi I put in?
You can just do, that's it. That's enough.
That's enough.
That's good. You don't want it too soggy. You still want to have nice texture to your mash.
Okay.
And then just give that a good mix.
This definitely adds the creaminess, the decadence, and obviously that taste of home, that nostalgic feeling.
And it gives that nice tangy taste to the mash. Instead of like normal milk or cream, this is a great way to incorporate amasi.
Love that. Okay.
So I'm going to do my onions in here because we're going to mix this into that, and then that goes into the oven in the dish. Yeah. So there are some steps to this.
There seems to be lots of steps, but it also is super easy.
Super easy, and you know what? This is great for your leftovers. So
that's so true.
All your leftover vegetables, you can either also add some of your proteins, like a bit of chicken or some of that shisa nyama left over from the weekend. Add it to this dish, make it a hearty meal for the whole fam.
Definitely Mzanzifying this meal. If you want to try this at home, I want to remind you of the keyword. It is Clover, and SMS that to 33650, and you could be enjoying this decadent Mzanzified bubble and squeak recipe. So you've added your spinach, and what I love about spinach, it being Mommy Monday, spinach is absolutely good for pregnant ladies, for babies. It feeds them. It gives that iron that they need.
Exactly, so it's great for growing kids and also for the whole family. So it's really rich in iron, like you said, and also rich in calcium. So it's got good calcium for the bones for growing kids.
Love that, okay.
So in that you've got some spinach, and then what I love about coleslaw is that it's not only for salads.
You can add it in basically anything.
Add it to anything, so it's going to go into this dish. I mean, why not?
I mean, because at the end of the day, all coleslaw is the cabbage, is the carrots, and that is everything that we need in almost any meal, I feel.
Almost any meal. I love that. So we're going to give that a good mix, and then always season as you go. You're going to go in with some salt and pepper.
Some salt and pepper. And I like to season as I cook.
Yes.
Yes, you keep tasting, adding, subtracting, balancing out the flavors. I think that's important.
That's very important. So season along the journey of cooking so that your end result is a nice, flavoursome, packed dish.
Love that. Okay, so once that is cooked all the way through, it ends up looking a little something like this.
Like that, right? So we're going to add that into our mixture over there.
Okay.
And then give it a nice little
stir it through.
Stir that through.
Distribute the ingredients quite nicely.
There we go.
And I think that this is good for the entire family. I mean, you can make a huge amount of it and then leave it as leftovers for lunch the next day, for this scaftini.
You know what I'm saying? Lunch at work.
Lunch at work, lunch at school. It is perfect for almost anything.
Or even just a side dish. So if you're thinking, what am I going to make with my meat? This is a great alternative. And also to hide those vegetables for those kids.
Absolutely. Those kids, my father does not like vegetables. So you have to add it in exactly any way you can and add that flavor. Okay, so as this comes together, you said that we put it in.
We're going to dish it into our ramekin.
Okay,
there we go. This might be better.
Nice. This is also good for dinner parties.
Absolutely. So then you can add different things to it. Add a bit of cream, add different types of cheeses. We're going to top it off with some grated white cheddar cheese.
Oh, nice.
And then you just get that into the oven, let it grill for a few minutes, and voila.
Presto. Absolutely done. I mean, I see your finished product there. It looks so delicious, so decadent, so creamy, and definitely a reminder, a nostalgic memory from home with Clover, Amasi, or Tando. And to try this at home, SMS the keyword Clover to 33650. Remember, SMSs will cost R1.50 and free SMSs do not apply.
Made with love by Clover.
Still to come on Afternoon Express, we meet representatives from the Free Thinkers Initiative after the break to chat about the youth projects they implement in various communities. It's going to be a goodie.
What does it mean to be the face of ponds? A few words come to mind. Empowered. Glamorous. With new opportunities. And if you think you have what it takes, simply enter by purchasing any Ponds product and visiting faceofponds.co.za to upload your photo, your bio, and the last 4 digits of your product's unique barcode. I am the face of Ponds. Are you?
Welcome back to Afternoon Express. Bongani Gordon Renre runs an initiative called Free Thinkers, which is a community project aimed at assisting young creatives to find new solutions for challenges within our communities. He joins us in studio with Saki Wadlala from the Active Citizens Everyday Organization to share more information on their project and exactly how it assists the youth. Welcome to Afternoon Express.
Hi there, thank you for having us. Hello.
So when I first read about the work that you do, I thought this is such a brilliant idea, because I think if you look at the tone and the climate of where all countries in the world are at the moment, there needs to be a new way of thinking and new systems to control the majority of people in the world, to make everybody happy, because at the moment it's not working. So what was your guys thinking behind the Free Thinkers? How did it start?
So the Free Thinkers came about after, after the Freeze Must Fall phase.
Yeah.
And then we started kind of like looking into how do we then make an impact on that, you know, because we try and better ourselves and our communities. And we went about starting Free Thinkers. Now what Free Thinkers' aim is being able to have conversations with the youth and essentially changing the paradigm and our conversation, our thinking on a lot of what we see, changing perspective, essentially then finding new solutions through that. We've started with the program. We're starting with a conversational presentation we call Black Money. And this is basically a new perspective on what money is, and coming from understanding it as a tool and having and then
that's an interesting conversation to have, because I think a lot of people have a very uncomfortable relationship with money, which is why you sometimes struggle to make it. So what was your personal experience, I suppose, that made you think, I need to think differently, and Free Thinkers needs to, you know, share, I suppose, this new way of thinking?
It's all about like what impacts did I want to make at the time, and I found that like the impact that I want to make is something that other people want to make as well, and then, you know, Free Thinkers, then you go around finding fellow creative like minds, such as you right here, you know, brilliant thinkers that are able to kind of come together, and then we start working and talking solutions on how we can better impact our community.
So your initiative is Active Thinkers.
Active Citizens.
Active Citizens. So what is that, and how does it work?
Active Citizens Every Day is an organization that is based in Langa, and that on its own is there to uplift the kids that are around our local townships that are struggling with reading, with book writing, with book analyzing, with spelling of the words in the books they're reading. We found in most of the townships that we visit, some kids, for example, in social media, they'll cut the words, and maybe for someone on the other end of the phone, he would struggle, or she would struggle to understand what the other person on the other side of the phone.
Yeah, that happens on Twitter all the time.
Yeah. So that was basically the idea behind Active Citizens Every Day, to like uplift the kids in our community to like read better, be more wise in reading and book writing, analyzing books, and all of that.
Amazing. Tell us a little bit about some of your implementations and some of the success stories that you've had from them.
Okay, so we started engaging with some of the youth in our community, and we started kind of like teaching them about black money and how they can be able to apply that in their lives. And we find like the results of it are just kind of like out of this world, because it's great to work with the youth and kids, because they're not afraid to try new things. They, you know, the minute you give them an idea and go, okay, cool, this is what it does and how it works, they just run with it. So it became so much easier to engage with some of the kids. There's a Hlomla. So Hlomla is, I gave Hlomla because he was selling biscuits at school, right? And he was selling them for like 50 cents. And I said to him, you know, to be able to make a profit out of this, you need to be able to shift, because you're already making money there. So you just need to be able to shift your value and had a conversation with him with regards to packaging, because that's how you raise the value.
Yeah.
So taking the biscuits, putting in profound quotes, inspirational messages and whatnot, put the biscuits there, wrap it in like a ribbon. All that is literally under 100 Rand.
Yeah.
And then you package that, and you don't sell to the students, but you market it to the teachers, because they're the ones that drink coffee and whatnot. So they're like, so basically it's being able to show them that they have something that's of value, and in order to be able to make a more profit in it, it's all about switching their value in their packaging, and then just kind of switching market.
I think it's such a difficult thing to be able to teach somebody how to think differently, and yet if you can get it right, it will be the most rewarding at the end of it.
So the key to it is also just being able to get the presentation to be explainable to 5-year-olds. You know, the minute you get to that, then you can.
Amazing, That's like a business pitch. If you can explain it in like 30 seconds or less than a minute, then it's easy to sell.
Because even their mind span, like the attention span is just so short these days. You know? Social media is just kind of like.
So what's your vision and what's your goal for active citizens and for free thinkers? Where do you see it going?
We see it more expandable and reaching other like local communities around Cape Town, around Western Cape, and hopefully around South Africa and the world. If we put in much work like we are currently, and shout out to Anele, he's not here due to some personal things which we don't want to get into, but we wanna grow more.
Yeah, amazing.
Yeah.
So for free thinkers, the aim for it was to be able to teach kids to be able to start seeing problems as opportunities for solutions, because this is what we need more in the communities. Young people who are passionate about doing more in communities and impacting them. And you know, there's a lot to this, and you know, it goes way beyond our own issues, and understanding that we're not the only people that face these challenges, and sharing that. And you know.
Thank you so much for being here, gentlemen. I think that's a very, very fantastic initiative, and well done on your work.
Thank you. Thank you.
Bravo to all those gentlemen. Now, we've been asking you from the top of the show, what do you appreciate most about those who raised you? And we've got Ruzan Smith-Adams here saying, my parents taught me to be God-fearing and always to be grateful. R.I.P. Daddy, gone but not forgotten. Indeed, our condolences go out to you. We've got Nomu Samtetwa saying, they taught me to love and to be respectful. And we've got our final viewer here saying, my grandmother taught me to respect people. Don't mock about other people's situations or backgrounds. She taught me to be responsible for my actions and know that every action has a consequence. Very, very important information there. Now we continue the conversation with our amazing guests after the break, but you can still join in on the conversation and tell us some of the things that you appreciate the most about those who raised you. Remember to use the hashtag Afternoon Express in your comments. See you after the break.
What does it mean to be the face of Ponds? A few words come to mind. Empowered. Glamorous. With new opportunities. And if you think you have what it takes, simply enter by purchasing any Ponds product and visiting faceofponds.co.za to upload your photo, your bio, and the last 4 digits of your product's unique barcode. I am the face of Ponds. Are you?
Welcome back to Afternoon Express, and of course we have got an amazing panel of women on our couch. So I just have a question for Noemi from Mommy Mall. All of these amazing women are on your platform and, like you, are achieving great things with business. What kind of support do you offer them? And do you?
Yes, I'm the only mompreneur coach in South Africa.
Really?
If you've ever heard that word.
It's a good word.
I offer a hand-holding service. So I've got a page on Facebook, Noemi Bhutto Mompreneur, and also the founder of Mommy Mall South Africa.
Brilliant.
I'm a marketing strategist, and I come from a strategy background. I used to work for bigger brands. But small businesses don't have access to that hand-holding. How do I develop my brand? What do I name my business? How do I advertise? So I help the mommies, I hold their hands, and then also obviously provide the platform.
Brilliant.
Yeah, that's so beautiful. Now, look, we've been asking you throughout the show, what do you appreciate the most about those who raised you? And we've got such incredible remarks and comments coming in on social media. Now, there's a bit of a debate happening.
Oh, give it to me.
I
love a debate.
Do you become a strict parent or do you become a relaxed parent? I mean, we've got Tana Deeds here, who is a top fan. Shout out to you, Tana. Thank you so much for tuning into Afternoon Express every single day. And she says, my parents were strict, but it helped me to be the person that I am today. I wonder what I would have become if it weren't for them. I don't know.
So I agree with strict. What do you think? Please, and you guys, because you're moms as well.
What does strict mean?
Yes.
In each home, it's different.
Yes.
And I think it comes back to what I said earlier about what is your value. If you value very strict, strong discipline, and your child is resisting that, that's going to be a challenge.
Yeah.
Whereas if you have a home that's a lot more functional in structure, it may be strict, but it may be comfortable for each
But here
one.
we've got two working moms, and I think their children are learning so much from seeing their mothers working and having a role and, outside of the home. But I think that creates boundaries and learning, and I think that's maybe, don't boundaries make children feel safe?
Absolutely. Yeah.
And there's also like a bit of a routine that's
I'm a
plugged
mother.
in.
I told you, I'm one of those mothers that have got an opinion on mothers.
But you're a godmother of the nation, I love to say.
I am the fairy godmother.
You are. So I think that there is something to be said about boundaries. Don't you agree?
Yeah, I think obviously growing up, I'm an addict. My mom's also a recovering alcoholic. She's 2 years clean. She got clean just after 2 years after I got clean, because I put a boundary in place with my mother that she wasn't going to be seeing my son, and she's turned a complete 180. Wow. And I know that going forward, there's a chance my son could have the same gene. It's hereditary. And what I've learned from working in treatment centres and dealing with hundreds and hundreds of addicts is that they're going to be an addict whatever you do. There's nothing much you can do. But for me, the most important thing is that I have an open, honest relationship with my son growing up, so that if that does happen, he's not hiding it from me. He comes to me for the help.
It's so hard for you, because as a kid, when he's 18 and wants to go drilling with his friends, how do you protect him without being angry or lashing? Like, I think that's a very scary space, I think, for a parent.
It is. It's very scary, and I do think about it quite often. Like, is he going to be? Isn't he trying to be? I mean, he's only turning 4, but it's something that I do think about quite a lot. And I think for me, it's having boundaries, having respect, but also allowing them to be their own people. So it's the balance. Everything for me in recovery is about balance.
You know what I love so much about this TV show is because we honor women of all sorts every single day on Afternoon Express. And thank you so much to the three of you for being here. It's really, I love strong, amazing women that are just teaching us so many things every day.
Absolutely.
Thank you for being here on the show.
We keep learning, we keep growing. So shout out to you indeed. And shout out to everyone at home who did comment, who did contribute on social media. Shout out.
And tomorrow we meet Miss Cosmo, who's one of the most booked DJs in the country at the moment. She is amazing. So we look forward to that. Thank you so much at home for joining us. We've loved spending the afternoon with you. Until tomorrow, good night and God bless. Thank you so much.
Afternoon Express, made with love by Clover.
Another feel-good production.